Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the trending contracts. And today's contract, the Neighbour and the Grandma Gang, set in Whittleton Creek, and the contract ID is on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a crack at it, and has been supplied to us today courtesy of the Mr. Mo. So moving on to our briefing, kill your neighbor and the annoying grandma gang, GG, or just kill everybody. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them with no stipulations on how we dispatch them or what we wear whilst we do so, so we have a free map. And for today's challenge, we'll be starting at the default location. We're going to have our ever trusty lockpick stored up in the park shed, and we'll be bringing with us a micro remote taser and a micro remote explosive, along with our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we're going to go and retrieve our lockpick first of all, as we will be needing that somewhat later on. So once we have our lockpick, we can move on to our first target, and our first target is located just outside of Helen West's house, and she is by the muffin delivery van, and we'll be using our micro explosive to deal with her. So this is the young lady in question just ahead of us. So we're going to go round to the far side of the van. We're going to place our micro explosive on the logo here. It blends in nicely with the eyes, and we're going to get ourselves a nice safe distance, but also one where we get a good view, and we're just going to wait for our target to return to a more suitable position before detonating our explosive. So one target taken care of. So we're now going to make our way on to the west property and down into the basement, and down here we can take out Mrs. West herself. So we're going to lockpick our way into the basement. We're just going to grab the lethal poison from the shelf there, select our micro taser, and we're going to drop that on the floor by the sink and then overflow the sink. Now there is a way of speeding up this procedure ever so slightly, and if we make our way up into the house and lockpick our way through this door, if we can, we want to trigger a conversation between Mr. Burton, I believe it is, and Helen West. Now unfortunately she's on the phone with Yanis, so we've had to wait for that to play out before the conversation will begin. So we haven't really saved any time, but now that that conversation has begun, Helen West will not take too much longer to make our way down into the basement. She will notice the overflowing sink, wonder how that happened, and when she steps into the puddle, we can then trigger the taser and give her the shot of her life. So that's 2 targets taken care of, and we're going to make our way back upstairs as 2 more of our targets will also be frequenting this area, one of which we've already mentioned, Mr. Burton. The other is the FBI gardener, who is currently relieving himself in the bathroom. So we've just missed him as an opportunity, so we're going to make our way into the kitchen and we'll wait for Mr. Burton to return, and shortly after we've dealt with him, the FBI gardener should return also. So once Mr. Burton returns to the kitchen and finishes playing with his clipboard, he will move to the corner of the room and we can eliminate him with a shot to the head, and that will prevent him from being spotted by our next target. And all we have to do now is await his arrival, and when he finally decides to rejoin us, all we have to do is follow him into the bathroom, and we're going to crouch down as we get closer, and then we can reintroduce him to his breakfast. And I hope it was worth it, because you're going to be eating it twice. So that just leaves us with one more target to go, and our final target is Mr. Haskell, who is the irate gentleman, shall we say, over by the garbage removal van. Anyone gets anywhere near his grass and he goes right off on one. So what we're going to do is that we are going to use the poison we collected from Helen West's house, and we're going to poison Mr. Haskell's lemonade, which you can see just up on the banister there. But we need to wait for Mr. Haskell to remove himself from the balcony or patio, porch, whatever you want to call it. He will in a moment make his way down to his garage, and he will present us with an opportunity with which to make our way up onto the porch, and we can then deal with his lemonade. So as soon as he turns his back, we're going to approach the porch. We're going to add our lethal pills to the cup of lemonade there, and then we should just have time to make our way all the way to the JCB and retrieve the crowbar that is buried within the mechanical workings of the vehicle, thus rendering it unable to work. There we go. So we grab that and we head straight back to Mr. Haskell. I can see him just heading up the porch as we approach. We may be slightly behind schedule. He's already sampling his drink and he's down like a tree, and it wasn't worth us but running all the way back over here. Either way, that is our final target taken care of, and the reason we ran all the way over here and grabbed the crowbar only to run all the way back pointlessly was so that we can run all the way back over here once again to the nearest available safe exit, or it will be when the construction worker decides to stop looking at that big hole and fill it in. So as soon as his back's turned, we can then open up the sewer grate and we can hop ourselves down, and we're going to go and see if Michelangelo has any leftover pizza. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of, and we have confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan, and we get our silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.